Hey, what's happening, you cool cats and dogs? This is Bradford Trojan, episode number 3, coming at you. I'm speaking again with my buddy, Martin Zinkel. You're probably thinking by now, hey, there's 3 episodes and he's only been talking to Marty Zinkel. Well, fear not. I have a lot of other people in store here. Just happens to be that we're really good buddies and it gave us a chance to try and work out some of the kinks and gremlins out of some of the technical stuff. So it was a really great opportunity to do that. Today's episode, a little shorter, and we're specifically talking about our old childhood toys. It's great. So if you are a child of the 80s, such as we, you might enjoy this. We're getting into some of our fun toys that we loved and a little bit of how we've been reacquainting ourselves with those toys. You're going to hear about some fun ones that we got. So just sit back and relax or work really hard while you're listening. Either way, you're going to win with Bradford Trojan and Friends.
All my friends till the very end. Thank you for the fun and the play. Until next time, I hope you all do fine. Live to see another day. My pals and my peers, throughout all the years, you've done so much and wished me well. My guides and my teachers, all the very little.
We are live at 5. Actually, it's 3, but it's close. It's close. 5 o'clock. You know where it would be? 5 o'clock would be in Chicago. So, hey, right now, if we were in Chicago, it would be alive at 5.
I'm live at 5 right here, right now, here on the East Coast, New Jersey.
We're
here live at 5.
And here it's me at 3.
We got
PM.
me at 3 on the Bradford Trojan time zone.
Bradford Trojan time zone, where I what the time I go off of is I beat to my own clock. Tick-tock, rock around the clock. Marty, it's so good to have you back, buddy. So good. I can't believe this. This is like a series. I realized it's like you and I right now are doing a series of shows.
Yeah, this is the
This is the trilogy.
yeah, this is just our trying and testing out podcasting. What is it like series?
Yeah. What does it feel
what is it like to podcast?
Yeah, what does it do? What does it do to your innards as you're podcasting? What do your innards feel like?
Yeah, all the receptors on your organs and everything, the things that you can't normally feel.
Yeah.
During a podcast, maybe you can actually feel those things. So try to notice your digestive system.
Yeah.
Try to think about your peristalsis and, is that feel stimulated,
Yeah. Yeah. Are you stimulated inside? Maybe the outside you're excited and feeling the thrill of listening and hearing its podcast, but is the inside stimulated?
The juices are the juices flowing inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enough to possibly even make you take a dump during the show.
Yeah.
You have to pause it or you could.
It's like two bears fighting in the woods. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're allowed to go to the bath. Exactly. Adrenaline. The adrenaline's pumping from what we're saying, what we're talking about, and then it just makes you have to go number 1 or number 2, and that's
Possibly.
fine. You can keep listening as you're doing that. People do listen to. It's interesting.
That's why I sit on a bucket. Yeah.
Yeah, you can sit on the bucket.
You can sit on a bucket during the podcast, but
yeah,
that's just between you and me.
That's between you and me. That goes on our bucket list of things to do. So
Yep.
Yeah, buddy. Last
Checking
night
them
it was funny. I was just talking to you before the show started here that I so I was telling you before the show started that I rented out an entire theater last night for the new Christopher Nolan movie Tenet, and had 10 people come, and we just saw that last night. That was
10 for Tenet.
10 for Tenet, man. Dude, I didn't even put that together. Yes.
Is it about... It's a Tenet. Is it spelled Tenet?
Yes.
Is that...
Yes.
Okay.
You know,
Wow. Can't wait to see it. Sorry.
It's good. It's a good movie. It's pretty trippy, and it makes you feel a little dizzy afterwards. He did those movies, Memento, Inception, Interstellar. He's quite a filmmaker.
Interstellar.
Yeah.
Was really trippy. So
yeah.
Does it build on what Interstellar?
I say it's beyond that.
It's beyond what Interstellar did.
Yeah. I
wow.
would say
so use that as a jumping off point. And is it set on the planet Earth?
Yeah, it's on the planet Earth. It just has to do with time and movement of time forward and backward.
All right.
It's pretty crazy, and it's like the big movie that's come out since the pandemic. So it's kind of like, wow, this is the big one.
It's like a blockbuster.
Big blockbuster.
Wow. But you have to rent out the movie theater yourself.
You don't have
in order to see the blockbuster.
You're allowed to go to the theater, but I didn't trust other moviegoers with their habits during the pandemic. So you can go and take a chance, but I found that I could just rent out an entire theater and stack my own crowd, and then we all just went and got there for it's called a private watch party.
Okay.
And
is this like a chain theater?
Yeah,
or
man.
Is it like a privately owned
buddy.
theater?
It's all the like Cinemark, and I'm sure they're doing it with AMC and all other ones. And
my Lord.
Then our local movie house has a. You can rent it there. You can rent movies out there. You can also like play your own movie. Rent your theater to play whatever you want for cheaper.
Your own home movie. That's great.
Yeah.
Your own film.
You just go for it.
Well, yeah, because I've been at screenings at more like smaller independent places for like independent films that I work on.
Right.
Like the Bryn Mawr Film Institute.
Yes.
I want to say. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's
most recently.
It's great. The Bryn Mawr. Oh, right, because you did that one in Philly, right? You were working with it. What was it called?
Yeah. Well, I did one Stomping Ground.
That's it.
That was called Stomping Ground.
And you can watch that on Amazon.
You can watch that on Amazon. And I did cinematography, a lot of the camera work for that one. And with the same group, production company, I did a different one that we screened in Bryn Mawr. But I'm trying to remember which one that was. But I'm trying to. There's one that comes to mind, but I don't think that's it. But
yeah,
what was it? Key Light Films.
Key Light Films.
I worked with.
All right, people want
to. Small independent.
People.
Philadelphia area.
People can look.
Like I'm sure you have out there.
Yeah, exactly. We got the small independent film world. People can look that up, and they can find that online, and check it out. Check out some of your work there, and that's exciting. That's great. Yeah. So it's fun. It's nice to go to the movie theater, moving picture show, and have a real life experience. It was weird leaving last night the house, going out somewhere. It's like I haven't gone out anywhere.
Wow.
I haven't gone out to go in
public.
A place in 7 months.
You haven't been drunk in public.
You haven't been
or punk in
Drublic, man. No.
How was it? What was it like? Did everyone look like aliens, or like they were, dangerous, or just normal, like you remember?
I remember people. Well, with the masks on, it's just we're losing so much information from people. So
it's true.
It's just that part's.
You don't know if they're smiling or frowning.
No, you have no idea. You need just to you could do the Joker smile, and you could paint it on masks. Like one of the guys had a white mask, and I think
that's a
you
good
could
idea.
do maybe you could have a dry erase material that you just start to do different expressions for how you're feeling.
I like that.
But it's
kind of like a Cobra Commander type thing that you just kind of wipe off, and you write a smile or a frown or just to draw a line.
Also, I don't know if you ever read Watchmen, that graphic novel. There's a character Horseshock, and he has like
Right.
a
Ooh.
silk mask
Right.
that it changes from, the way he's being
Right.
expressed. But yeah,
Yeah, it's like a ink blot.
that's it. Yeah, yeah, the ink blot. Yeah, so it was fun. I mean, it was fun because the friends that I had, that we all went, and I think everyone enjoyed it. And people got like concessions, and we just like had a fun time having our own theater. It felt real casual. You have to wear your
Did you
mask
bring
throughout.
Did you bring any popcorn or snacks?
People brought popcorn. People bought popcorn there. They bought their own snacks because they
Oh.
were selling stuff. And I think even
All
maybe
right.
booze. Maybe there was someone might have gotten a
Ooh.
drink, and actually
You can have.
you could, yeah, you could. They had beer available. You could drink.
Oh.
You can party it up in the movie theater. I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that my partner packed me.
Wow. You and Joe Biden with your peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
I'm a grown man eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
You can eat your peanut butter and jelly sandwich if you want to because you're a grown man.
Yeah, I could do that. I'm allowed to. I can
You can-
drive around and eat it.
Mm-hmm. You can pack as many as you want
Yeah.
to carry with you in your car, and you can eat them while you're driving. You can pack them, save them for later when you get there.
That's the beauty of democracy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm telling you, man.
so with all that aside, I'm curious. Like, we were kind of into the idea of talking about some of our childhood toys, and I wanted to
Childhood
focus on
toys.
some of this part of this show. And because when I was back there, you happened to be, I was back east, referring to back home.
Uh-huh.
You had
Back home,
been
back east.
visiting your parents' house, and in the attic there is
Mm-hmm.
an enormous amount of toys and old vintage
Oh, yeah.
stuff that's just been packed away that you're uncovering, you're rediscovering, right?
Basically all my childhood toys that I amassed throughout the years of my childhood growing up. Put away in the attic. Just some of them just literally just like my G.I. Joe spaceship. Somebody just took it up there, or maybe I took it up there and just put it on the windowsill, just out,
Oh,
And it's not really very super insulated up there. It's like an old 1800s house attic. So
my gosh.
it was just kind of sitting there in the window, getting brittle for, I don't know, 20, 30 years.
It's, it's almost like
and
you did like,
but it's mostly intact. I saved most of it.
it's like you had them in mid play. You just like, you were like,
And I was like, well,
you're
done.
just
Yeah.
taking them up in the space shuttle, and then you're like, they land on the windowsill, and you're like, well, that's it. And then you left,
Uh-huh.
and that was done. You're done playing with it.
Yep. That was it. That was the last thing I did in my childhood. It's like closing chapter, setting down the toy for the last time,
Oh,
and then the door just slams shut.
oh, the attic door.
Yep.
The attic door. So
The creaky attic door that you have to like pull really hard because it stuck on the ceiling,
and all those stairs come down and almost knock you out.
oh yeah, it's treacherous going up there. Nails, coming in from the roof tiles.
So it's quite a obstacle course.
Splintering wood.
Obstacle course trying to get to your toys right
Mhm.
now at this point in time. The elements have
Exactly.
aged, so there's like spikes coming out. There's maybe poisonous creatures.
It's basically an Indiana Jones movie
To
trying to get through
Your
to
80s artifacts.
the treasure of my childhood. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it really is. There's like some traps like I could easily fall into, and I have like I mean, it's crazy. My dad like put all of his paper records, I guess, from years and years, just stacked them all up on the one side, and there's kind of like an avalanche coming down, and
Oh,
I happen to like one of my lunch boxes filled with GI Joes or whatever was at the bottom of it, and I pulled it out, and the whole thing like started to shake and like started to like fall, and I had to like hurry up and like grab stuff and kind of stuff it in there. But I just gotta throw all that stuff out.
What are the paper? Oh, paper records. For a second, I'm thinking like the cardboard,
like bank statements.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That needs to get shredded. You need to shred that. You need to go to a shredding event.
I mean, I'm like afraid that if I touch it, it's gonna just crumble into dust.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, it might.
Just need to put it into like a container and like sweep it in there.
Sweep it and then just throw it in the pond next to your house.
Yeah, no, I'll burn it in the incinerator.
That's it. Don't wake.
Remember the incinerator?
Don't wake Freddy. Don't wake Freddy Krueger. Oh, the incinerator. Yes, the incinerator. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You do.
It's
yeah,
just
you
to get
can
rid of, burning waste and stuff that you're allowed to burn. Instead of a burn barrel, you can just.
Oh, it really was. So that really was for like leaves and stuff, right? Like burning up.
Yeah, like extra
papers and stuff.
Sticks and just stuff that falls in the yard from the trees and
all that. Yeah, and the human bodies that you were, your family was murdering along its killing spree.
Wow, I didn't think anyone knew about that, but
well,
it's starting to do a true crime podcast all of a sudden.
Ghosts in the attic there. So you're up there. You're You're finding some good stuff. And I like see some of the things you brought over and showed me some of these pictures of the old Star Wars. These really like classic toys that are definitely worth a chunk right now. And the original Star Wars figurines that I just screwed up royally because I had all these things too. And I remember the yard sale at my parents' house when I was like, I don't know, 9 or something, and I remember just selling them all. I was like, I'm done with them. I'm gonna sell them. I'm selling them for like $0.25 a piece, and I'm just like, and I'm so excited. Hey, look, I made $5 to my parents, and it's just like, oh wow, 20 years later,
$5 per figure.
I mean, if maybe more, $10-20 a pop figure. It's ridiculous, but it's just so fun to like get back. And I remember taking a trash bag of GI Joes to a flea market and sold them, and got like
trash bag
something. Yeah, I had like so many. But you've got all these toys. Just you're sitting on this gold mine, and
toy gold mine, sitting on top of a toy gold mine like a man-child dragon.
your dragon toy nest. The dragons just will they'll roll little jewels and precious items into their nest and stow it away. And so you have it all under your bed. You sleep on top, and then if someone comes in, you're breathing little smoke comes out your nostrils, just trying to wait for somebody that's going to try to plunder your bounty, and then they
have to be a really sneaky to get my toys, to get my treasures.
Otherwise you're gonna whomp them with your tail. And so you got all these toys. One of them I want to just kind of highlight right now in today's show, which I know you have right there with you.
So many to talk about.
There's so many. There's this one here that I remember. I forgot about it until you brought it. And what are you holding there? What is that?
This is Dracula. It's a standalone video game, mini arcade game. And it's by Epoch Electronic Game.
Epoch,
E-P-O-C-H. And then underneath that it says electronic game, so you know that this is an electronic game.
It's not a what else would it be, right?
I mean, I don't know.
A board?
It could be one of those, I mean, I don't know about you, but I had hand-me-down games from when my parents were kids, I guess, that were it was like a horse race or something, and there were just sliders that were attached to the horses,
Yes.
Or what are they called? Like the electronic football or the magnet football or whatever.
Gosh, yes.
That game. What was that
Oh,
called?
what was that one? That's like rings a bell now. The football game that
You turn it on and everything starts buzzing and jumping around on the field
oh
on
my
the
gosh, you're right.
on the board, and like everything has to like bounce in your direction, I guess.
Yeah. Oh my
Anyway.
gosh, I totally forgot about that. I remember that one. So this one,
This is the next era.
this was the
of
next
games,
era
I
where,
suppose.
yeah, and
80s.
80s. Yeah, I wonder what year it was. I wonder what year that came out. Definitely the 80s, but like,
I bet you this is 84, 85 or something.
that makes sense. That's like when there was almost like I was gonna say a resurgence in monster movies, then like
yeah,
that Dracula
monsters.
movies and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
but hey, could you turn it on just so we get to hear the? Here we go.
Here we go. This is one of the best parts.
All right.
Let's see if it comes on.
Oh, that there it is. Yeah, yeah. It's so cool. It's this. So what we're seeing here, and you got to look it up. People can see this if they look it up online. You just have this amazing little box, handheld box about. Oh, it's so cool. And the
Let me just get it up
and
to
the game is actually like
for
set
you.
back a little bit in the screen, so you kind of have this neat perspective as you're playing the little joysticks, and there's this just awesome, real super lo-fi, almost like Atari kind of vibe of this
Yeah.
you're trying to get into the coffin, right? Dracula's trying to get through, or are you not Dracula? Are you? Oh my gosh, that chime, those sounds are so
It just
good.
hit start. Yeah, it's just a little I don't know, whatever kind of technology screen they had back then.
And what's the character trying to get
Um,
into the across the board to the end? Is it?
It's just like this. I mean, I wish you could see it. It's like this amorphous kind of body-shaped thing. It's like a human body,
I well,
but it looks like there's no features. It's just kind of like doughy.
I'm wondering if it's the
Um,
who is the guy that fought Dracula? Who's the Van Helsing? It's probably. Do you think it's Van Helsing?
the character, I would say it's Van Helsing. Why wouldn't it be? Yeah,
Why wouldn't it be Van Helsing? Probably
that's
is.
the only person it could be.
It's probably so. This game is just so cool. There was this era.
This keeps on cutting out because the power cord is a little bit wonky.
It's a little wonky. It's okay. That's fine.
I can use batteries if I needed to. But-
If you're in a pinch and you have to go on a trip and you need to store that in your suitcase, you need to bring it with you and go out camping, you can have batteries.
Mhm.
It's amazing. It's amazing. There's this era of these video games. I remember this kind of triggered my memory into some of these other handheld video games where it was like little pocket games that you would hold pre Game Boy, and it was just
Ooh, yeah, this is pre Game Boy.
yeah, yeah.
This is definitely pre Game Boy.
Eh. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, I see. It's just moving along the board there. That's amazing.
see it?
It's so yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I just wanted to get what are these other sounds are like.
What's
Just move through.
once you showed me this when I was back home, I found a picture in my room of when I was. Oh, yeah,
I just got killed by the bat.
you got killed by the bat.
Yeah, and you gotta get by this monster guy.
Yeah,
That-
yeah. I feel
oh,
like there's a
should've just
bunch of
stayed.
monsters involved in this game, but there's like these games that at this time that were so cool. It's like the box game. You have one game. You're really just it has the artwork around it. You're an immersive experience here that it's just so much fun. Simple times, simple pleasures. Dracula.
Yeah, simple video games.
It's also just fun to kind of I realized timing wise too. It's mid-October. We're coming up on Halloween. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love it. Yeah. So this is
This is a really appropriate vintage video game to be playing this time of year.
it is.
Oh,
And
man.
these things sell on eBay. We checked out, they go for completed listings. They go for $100 sometimes. $100 a
Yeah,
pop.
I gotta stop. What? Killed me 3 times, so
Shame on you, Dracula.
it's tough. They have these little
Yeah.
crosses that are supposed to protect you from the vampire bat,
Yeah.
but then the crosses change their position. So when you're next to a cross, you're protected, but then all of a sudden, after a couple seconds, it's going to change to somewhere else. And if you're stuck there with a vampire bat, you're a goner.
Man, love it. Epoch Games. I wonder if Epoch Games did anything else other than.
I mean, I never got like Atari or any kind of game system, so this was basically one of my only video games until Game Boy.
What did you have? I remember coming to your house at one point, and it was like, well, I'm just looking real quick. Epoch Games. They had a Galaxy, Astro Command, Dracula, an electronic detective game. That's very familiar. Galaxy 2. Wow. Okay, so they had a line of some of these games here. Just a few.
Wow.
You had.
What if somebody got a bunch of these games together and then made an arcade like they do in Asbury Park? They have like that old pinball arcade.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. I wonder. So the other thing I remembered when I would come over to your house is you had, because I did have all the game systems. I had all the game systems starting with Nintendo. My evolution in video gaming was Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy had that, then into Genesis, Sega CD.
I know you had every single one, and you just get the new one every year.
3DO, a little bit of a lesser known one, and then I ended on PlayStation 1. That's when it stopped. So it was kind of like my last game system. Super Nintendo. And then so you had that computer game. I remember when I'd come over.
You mean like the old like Apple II computer or the thing from my parents?
Yeah, it was a floppy disk. I think you told me it was called. Was it called Wagon?
It's Oregon Trail. Oregon Trail. Yeah. I think we had like one of the first laptops. Like my parents would, borrow these computers from school, from their classes, I guess, or they would be able to take them home at least over the summer. And then I'd have like the most rudimentary, computer games, really.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't afford, a Atari. I guess I can't imagine they couldn't afford an Atari, but they just would not buy it for us.
Yeah.
But computer games were okay.
Yeah.
So Oregon Trail, that was a good one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. There was another one that was not as fun, but I'm trying to remember. I only basically played Oregon Trail.
What would happen in Oregon Trail? Because I didn't know how to play it. I'd just watch you play it a little bit, and then we'd go outside and play. But what would you do?
Oh my gosh! You're on a wagon train west, trying to
not
be an early American settler.
Trying not to eat each other from starvation.
Get stuck in the mountains and eat your party.
Don't have a Donner dinner party.
Right, exactly. That was the challenge for all these early settlers. So they, and people would get sick, and you'd lose people along the way. And you just kind of had to answer questions, and the game would give you, you'd basically get into a spot where it would all of a sudden become, instead of a wagon train going across, and you'd just be using like arrow keys, I think.
Yeah.
Then it'd be like, okay, well, you've come across some game. Now it's time to hunt some wild game. And that was like the real video game part, because then you're in a field and you're using the arrow keys to point this gun at the buffalo that are squirrels and other little things that are coming through, and you want to get the buffalo, because then you're good, and that's gonna last you for a while.
Feed you for a while.
It's like 5,000 points or something. Maybe you get a deer, and you get a couple hundred points or something. But that was the excitement.
Yeah.
Back in those early days.
Yeah. Right. That's like that was fun. It was simple, and
passed the time. I don't know how exciting it was. I got into it at some point.
It's
a computer game. All right.
You got to do something. You might as well just play Oregon Trail on the computer. I didn't know that part. I didn't know that it would be more summertime. You get it for summer. Your parents would get the computers, and then they'd have to give it back. So it was basically like you get to play video games during the summer, or
pretty much,
or
that's
video game.
Yeah. We get one video game per summer.
Oh my gosh! And then here I am.
It may be the same. It may be different.
Yeah, maybe get another round, crack at Oregon Trail here if you can get all the way out west and settle.
Oh my gosh! I don't know if I ever made it to California.
I bet at that point you'd make it to all the gold.
Yeah.
The big ending, where you get to, yeah. It's funny, like that whole time frame of like how the video games were progressing and because you didn't have anything else after that. It was just like you come and play stuff when I'd have a system, right? And then we'd it's great. It's just like so fun doing getting into the world now that's kind of like, and we talked about this a little bit, how I was selling some stuff back at my folks' house, like some old antiques. There's some like
you're a master of that.
I like doing it. I enjoy selling things. My
need to have you come back here and do that for me.
I'd love to. I could totally do that. And so it's like it's this thing of like selling these old like dolls from the 40s or like an old like wooden sled and stuff that people aren't really they're getting it, but they're not that excited about it. It's like what there are people now that are older are really excited about, like our age, want the 80s stuff. That's the popular stuff these days, is the 80s toys and the 80s memorabilia. And that's the price point that people are on right now, is like they want to get that's what the value's going up so much with 80s stuff, so there's
a lot of rich people that were kids back then, I guess. Now
exactly. Now they have money and now they can buy they can go buy the toys they used to have. There's this thing we just were doing with our daughter. I'm trying to get her my partner has this thing from her childhood called the Fisher-Price Woodsies, and they're these little, I never had them, but they're these awesome little like squeaky squirrels, and it has like a soft log cabin rolly thing. They're awesome. They're really like fun and kind of nature based for kids. Fisher-Price, they made some awesome stuff in these. So the Woodsies, and so like we have some of them, and we just like got a few more things on eBay, and they're just so expensive. The stuff is so much money for like a chair that the squirrel sits in, or like a mop or a broom, like these little pieces that would go with the set. And for my Voltron, I found my Voltron from the early 80s. I was looking at just buying a sword accessory for it. What was that? People wanted as much as like $50 or $80 just for this plastic sword. It's crazy. Yeah. Like I'm looking at the things where the same thing with the He-Man. There's some of these He-Man characters I have. Like I just got from my old collection. I love the character names. This one is one of the later He-Men, and his name is Snout Spout. And he's the elephant head. And, what a name! And you put you put a little water in his back pouch. Oh, interactive. And he squirts water out. And like, but the thing is, I bet that's worth a lot. It is. It's worth something, but it's even more with the accessory, because each of these characters had like a shield or a sword or some kind of accoutrement that most of us don't have anymore. And so to get that is like a lot of money. Like, I don't need Snout Spout's axe. Snout Spouter? Yeah. One is water can that he holds. Snout Spout's water can? Yeah. My old Snout Spout, yeah. It's good. It's good. Oh, yeah. I've got... See, my problem is I have a ton of those little accessories, but I don't know what they go to, because everything's just in a big bucket. That is... Big lunchbox. That sounds like a rainy day project. Oh no! See, that's why. Yeah. That's when
If somebody did this professionally, I would pay them
that's
to
when you pass it over to
mesh them up.
somebody and you just say, "Hey, buddy, can you just take care of my toys for me and put
Yeah.
all this
Here's just a
together?"
lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Little plastic pieces. It's amazing. It's amazing. There's that really good. Did you watch that toy documentary on? It's on Netflix. It's the how was it called? How this was? No, that was how this was made. It's
The Toys That Made
the
Us.
toys that made us.
Right.
Right. Because there's another one about
I
move.
watched a couple episodes.
Yeah. Did you see the He-Man
Yeah.
or the GI Joe one?
I did see the He-Man.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I saw the GI Joe one, but the He-Man one was really cool because I was always interested in the art in the comic books that came with the characters.
Yeah.
And the early characters. I really liked that. Just for some reason that really the combination of the really well done little comic book. It's like a mini comic
Yeah.
book. Really brought it to life for me, and then here's the character,
Yeah.
right there. So you could sort of see what kind of things that they would do and imagine them, and
Did you?
But,
What's the one you
it was
showed?
really cool
What's the one you showed me?
imagery.
You had one of them, right? That you showed me. You had a few of them, but there was.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't have it on me. I think that's still in my bedroom, but
They're just so cool. Like you said, the artwork's amazing, and I remember with He-Man too. There's like some kind of animation that they were doing that was like hyper. It's not hyper real, but like there's some other movies that use the same animation technique. It has a name for it, and it's like they look super realistic as they're moving. And it made it just so like incredible watching a cartoon in the afternoon, from like other things, because a lot of these came from
Right.
Japan, and they were doing this incredible anime that they would dub in English.
yeah. Yeah, I really I like the cartoon too, but of course I didn't get Channel 29.
Yeah.
But I would watch it at friends' houses. But yeah, on the Toys That Made Us, I think it was cool to see them interview the guy who actually did the comic books and drew and wrote the comic books. That was really cool. Yeah, little piece of childhood coming back full circle.
I know. It is. It is. It's
Entertaining us a second time around with documentaries about the toys we played with.
it's amazing, just the like world of like the comic conventions and these documentaries and people that are just totally like at the retro toy stores. When I was back east there's like a whole bunch of them in that area, in the South Jersey area. There's one just like
Really?
down the street from us. There's a few actually. There's one that in Tucson, right down town next to the grocery store we go, called Generation Cool, that has a Netflix show called Slobby's World, and it's about the owner. So there's a whole series, and it's like that.
Is that the name of the owner? Sloppy?
His name's Slobby Robbie, and it's
Oh,
based
Slobby
off of
Robbie.
his Garbage
Okay.
Pail Kid name.
Oh, that's right. You were telling me about this guy. He was actually the inspiration for a Garbage Pail Kid.
Oh no, that's a different one. That's
Oh,
no, but
that's a different. You know, so many Garbage Pail
I
Kid
know
people.
Garbage Pail Kid.
Jeez.
I do. I guess I know a few like Garbage.
That was another Garbage Pail Kid celebrity. Sorry.
But he's anyway, there's the Slobby's World, there's that show, and it just he has a bunch of toys. A lot of stuff they're focusing on is like vintage sports clothing and stuff, and kind of weird things. But there's just like the retro toy store world. It's great. It's like fun to go in and just see. Like there's that one I went to in Oakland, New Jersey. I forget the name of it, but it's House of Fun. And it's like I went in there last summer, and you go in and there's like literally just normal, like it looks like a toy store from the 80s. Like there have the racks, there's toys that are still in packaging that are up from the 80s and 90s. They have commercials playing on TV that are like just on loop of the original commercials from the 80s. So it's just this like immersive
wow.
experience. It was crazy, so wild.
Wow,
There was just
that's
so
amazing.
much stuff. Yeah.
Where was this?
In Oakland, New Jersey, called House of
Oakland,
Fun.
New
I guess that's a
Jersey.
fun plug for
Where
them.
is that?
It's right down on
Never heard
the
of
White
that.
Horse
Oakland, New
Pike.
Jersey.
White Horse Pike, and like
That's funny.
everything's so clumped together back there, all the towns, but just a little bit close, right outside of Cherry Hill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I knew that area.
So that's a
I might have to go down and check it out.
you got to check it out, man. House of Fun. Yeah.
Oh man, and the old commercials playing on TVs. That's
Love it.
That's really
Yeah. And then just like seeing their their the old commercial, like, we've just like taken time to watch old 80s commercials from on YouTube. You just have, there's all these collections you just like go through and just watch, and it's just fun, man. It's so cool to see the bad acting and like styles at the time and stuff. It's amazing. It's amazing. Well, we have a lot more to talk about toy wise, but I know
this is just the tip of the iceberg.
exactly. But I know you
You got
got
to get into your garbage pail kid history too.
totally. I know you got to head out here, and I want to let you go, but let's continue on with this because there's a lot more toy time we got to get into down the road. But man.
We got a lot of toy time to cover.
Yes.
Toy stories.
Toy Stories, the original Toy Story. All right, friend.
Well, all right. Well, it's been great as usual.
Yeah.
Talking to you.
Great to talk to you, my bud.
Love to catch up. Every time I talk to you, I find something else new.
Yeah, me too. All right. Let's not eat each other going on the Oregon Trail.
That's right. Let's get this buffalo.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. Peace.
Bye.
Well, diggity dog, that was fun talking with my buddy. I love it. It's great. We are just having a good time getting into some of these old toys that we used to know and love. They're really expensive now. If you look at them on eBay and the collector sites, oh my gosh. But I guess that's how it is. As you get older, you start getting more money, then you want the things that you had as a kid. It's kind of like the epitome of Citizen Kane and his Rosebud. The He-Man figures are our Rosebuds. Well, I'm going to keep it short and sweet here, and a little salty. Just say that I want you to have a wonderful time in your life from now until next we meet. And love this life, live this love. I'll see you next time.
Your wishes come true. All my friends till the very end. Thank you for the fun and the play. Till next time, I hope you all can find. Live to see another day. Live to see another day. Live to see another